If I enter into ChatGPT, give me 10 ideas for my kid's birthday party, I'll get a response. If I enter into ChatGPT, give me 45 clever, unconventional, pirate-themed ideas for my 3.5-year-old's birthday, I will also get a response. In other words, the prompts that we use for artificial intelligence really matter, and I would argue the exact same is true for human intelligence and human connection. The questions that we use, the prompt cards, really matter. If I walk up to somebody and say, "How are you?" I'm gonna get a certain type of response. It's probably gonna be one word, right? Whereas if I greet somebody and I say, "How have you been today?" Right? Just a specific enough for somebody to hone in and actually give a response. So the cool thing is, behind me, I am going to dive on the floor in a little bit and reveal a very cool way to get a free printable version of what I think are the best conversation starter cards. I'm slightly biased, but my hope in this video is to prove it to you while also teaching you how to create some of the best conversation prompts for yourself. What is one of your favorite topics of conversation? You can see that if you asked this to a person, it would unlock a portal into something they really love, care about, and probably could talk very easily about. And so if you ask this to somebody who is really shy, and you give them a solid 10 seconds, a minute to think about their response ahead of time, and then share it, what you're gonna do is crack open this little bit of passion, and that window creates fantastic conversation. So this card is a gigantic version of these cards called We Connect cards. So before you click off the video, because you're like, "Oh gosh, this guy's trying to sell card decks." I'm not. I actually have a free version of the card deck for you that you can print out and cut. You're watching me on YouTube right now, and so perhaps you wouldn't know this, but I had a very nerdy stretch in my life. In fact, I still think I continue that nerdy stretch, but when I was in grad school, I actually wrote a peer-reviewed academic paper on the creation of these 60 questions. You can go find it. I'll flash a PDF of it up here. The way that I honed in on these specific questions and prompts to build trust and connection and create this atmosphere of belonging in not a lot of time was very, very deliberate. I used what's called the traffic light method to come up with it. I laid a red piece of paper, a yellow piece of paper, and a green piece of paper on a table. And with hundreds of people over the course of 2 years, I tested this deck. I would bring the deck and I would ask the group, we'd do a couple exercises with the deck, and then I would ask the group to sort the cards into buckets. Red cards, or the cards that you put on the red, are like, "I don't like this question, this is not good." Yellow, like, okay, maybe, but it needs a little bit of tweaking. And then green is like, "This is a great question, started a great conversation, I'm now connected to this person." And I just kept doing this traffic light method over and over and over again until almost zero questions were ending up in the red, and they were all ending up in the green and a few in the yellow. Before I dive on the floor and reveal the way to get your free set of cards, I also do think that the best conversation starter cards might be user-generated. They might actually be created by your group specific to your purpose and your context. And so feel free to buy a 3x5 blank set of note cards and invite people to write a question that they're really naturally, genuinely curious to know the answer to from everybody else in the group. It could be work-related, it could not be work-related, whatever your context is, they can make those context-specific questions. The problem with that is nobody wrote a peer-reviewed paper or did any vetting on how to ask a really good question. So you're gonna get closed questions, you're gonna get superlatives, you're gonna get questions that aren't ideal for opening people up. And so one little bonus of the We Connect deck, and this is for all of you who have the deck already, because there are many of them floating around the world. This was an accidental discovery after we printed the first several thousand 8 years ago. You can add context to the end of every question. So what is one of your favorite topics of conversation related to gem mining? What is one of your favorite topics of conversation related to work, right? You add your context in here, and all of a sudden the question, the entire deck actually gets really specific to your question. Now, if you're on a computer, you can scan the QR code and get your free deck. If you're on your phone, you can also just go on the link in the description. I give away the printable version of the cards for free because I'd rather have the questions being used out there in the world. I'm Chad Littlefield. really nice spending some internet time with you. Have an awesome day.